Well, here we are on Melanaka. There's gonna be only two videos of this tank, the Object 257. What's special about this tank? Uh, it's basically like a diamond. It has some crazy angles. If you guys know the Defender, just think of this as its older brother. Except, of course, this is a tier 9 tank, while the Defender's a tier 8. And this tank, instead of firing normal rounds, it fires APCR as standard. Yeah, it is an interesting tank, but of course it has actually less penetration than the other tier 9 heavy tanks. Like the ST1 and the T10 have more penetration than this tank. But of course, this tank has more armor, or survivability, as it says. And yes, it kind of does, because it's basically like a weak IS-7. That's basically what it is. Of course, by the time I'm recording this, I actually don't own this tank anymore. I have the IS-7 now. Of course, I got this tank for free when they updated the Russian tank tree. So all of the experience from my T10 went out of this tank, and now my T10's rusting in my garage. Here we go. We're finally on top of the hill, beating up tier 8s like you do. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention there. I just put a shot right into the ground. Oh yeah, and they also added 3 new French heavies. I've only recently just got the tank that's right there, the AMX 65T. Oh man, tortoise. I hate those things. This one of the hit me right in the. There's a weak spot on top of the turret where the armor's really thin and you can over penetrate. But tortoises, this year I've come across so many tortoises. It's crazy how many there have been. It's probably mostly because they released the Badger. There's a tier 10 tank destroyer for the British. And the Badger, just like the Tortoise, has really good penetration. Well, actually, just really good DPM. But unlike the Tortoise, it doesn't have that big cupola weak spot. But I mean, you can still go through its lower hole. But you have to be out in the open. Oh, there's my opposite number. He looks stock. Already doing pretty good on damage. And yes, I know what happens in this fight. But we've basically taken control of the hill, and I only took one shot. Now we have to go down the hill through the last remaining tanks on the enemy team. But first, yeah, I was probably never going to hit him. Hey, buddy, I'm just like you. Got a big turret. Here we go with one final push. Just decimated the enemy team on the hill. You're probably wondering, they only had two tier 9s on the hill. So actually the rest of these tanks that are left are all tier 9s. Except for that IS-3, but don't worry about him. And no, this tank isn't very good at sniping. As you see there, as I try to shoot at the E75 and bounce off the turret of the IS-3. I should have actually aimed that a little bit better. That shot probably should actually bounce. Because the T-54 E1 actually is a pretty trollish turret. Oh man, another tortoise. Okay. Again, I'm trying to snipe. Well, I hit him. I think I just hit him in the tracks. Something's got to be done. Kind of stalemate here. For some reason, my teammates aren't really wanting to move, so I'll make a move. Try to track him, but at least I penetrated and dealt damage. But I hit by him and the 75. But I actually track him by barely running into him. It's annoying because I'm trying to fight him and the E75s are shooting me in the back. And I'm almost dead. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Oh, finally, teammate saves me. And now I'm actually kind of in a bad spot. As I'm still spotted, but I don't want to move anywhere because I don't want to give them any chance to be able to penetrate me. So I'm just gonna sit here, see if I can snipe them somehow. This darn Russian tank. Come on, team. It's 7 versus 1. Start rushing in there. I'm a one shot. The tank destroyer. It's got the right idea. Although, I'm thinking it in my head, but I'm not putting it into practice. As I'm still in the snipe. Oh, he turned his turret just a little bit. And I think that Chinese heavy over there finally penetrated him. Starting to put pressure in on the E75, along with the tank destroyer. No. I check my teammates. Like, okay, that's it. I'm rushing. They're taking way too long. a tiger should be putting his health on the line, but he ain't. So I'm gonna put my armor on the line, which is all I got left. Make sure he doesn't spot me. See if I can sneak around because the Chinese heavy's keeping him distracted. Along with those two other heavies that are moving up too. But the U-75 sees the Mutant 6 out in the field. Put a shell in. I'm actually close to getting 7,000 damage. And I'm like, oh man, I really want to get this. But no, he's like, uh-uh. And I try to get around his side. And, yeah, Ram kills me. And the Mutant 6 somehow sneaks in the kill. I think that might be the most damage I've probably ever done. And also, it was my first mastery in this tank. I actually don't really care for this tank. It's all right. It's not that amazing.